Howdy fellas, this is the sketchbook I completed during my time at CSA, or the California State Summer School for the Arts. I'm going to be talking about anything and everything with regards to my experience there and answering a few questions I got on Instagram about it. As a disclaimer, I want to say that my experience at CSA will by no means mirror your experience if you are a future student. The program is likely to undergo some major changes between sessions, but enjoy. So I applied for animation as a senior in high school and got in after my first application. I'll put a link in the description to my full application, and the actual animation portion of my application is on my channel already. I got a couple of questions asking about why I think I got accepted, and really, truly, I don't know. This is the same advice that is preached by every single person that's been to CISA, but it's just about making sure the people that review your application get a really clear idea of who you are and the art you want to make. I would generally suggest using different media for each assignment if possible. Using digital across the whole application won't disqualify you or anything. It's just not as impressive. Also, this is pretty common knowledge at this point, but include figure drawings in your technical piece. Figure drawing is a massive part of CISA animation, so it's important that you establish a sort of familiarity with that from the jump. I want to talk about the living situation and sort of dorm life in general for a bit. So the dorms at Cal Arts aren't fabulous. The bathrooms are a little janky, and chances are you'll be sharing one shower and toilet with about 6 people. This won't be an issue if you establish a shower schedule early on. If you care about your overall well-being at all, you or one of your roommates should bring a small fan. It's hotter than hell in Valencia, and the air conditioning in the dorms is either garbage or completely non-existent. There are plenty of online resources and lists for what to bring to CISA, and they even send you a list of recommendations in the mail when you get accepted, so I won't get too into that. I got a question about my sleep schedule, and my answer isn't as exciting as one might hope because I never really stayed up late and always woke up around 6 a.m. I know a lot of other people in my department that were chronically sleepy, especially around the last week and a half or so, but if you manage your time well and don't bite off more than you can chew as far as assignments go, you should have no problem getting a lot of sleep at night, and you should stop glamorizing sleep deprivation, especially as artists. That's lame. Don't do that. Unfortunately, I don't have any of my schedules from CISA. At the start of each week, we got an outline of the stuff that we'd be doing, which was real helpful, but I don't have those anymore. So I'll try my darndest to remember what the average day was like for an animation student. So breakfast was at some time in the morning. I don't remember exactly what time the dining area opened. It's off to a great start. Food was always great though, in my opinion, so that's good. Depending on the day, we'd have life drawing either in the morning or the afternoon, so let's just say we have it in the morning today. That starts at 9 and goes until lunch at around 11:30. Life drawing was always real fun, real relaxing, and I loved having it in the mornings as a good way to warm up for everything. Then you'd get an hour lunch break, and then you'd typically go to the Bijou, which is a little itty bitty theater where you spend an hour watching the coolest animated films you'll ever see. Seriously. Here, I got introduced to some of Alison Skolnick's films, which you can find on Vimeo and are some of my favorite pieces of media ever, ever, ever. Also, Cockabooty is, and I quote, the most powerful film ever made, and it's on YouTube. I'll put a link to that in the description because it's worth watching. I love it so much. Each film we watched was totally unique and unlike anything I'd ever seen before. Bijou time was always the best time. So, after the Bijou screening, we'd have animation class from around 1:30 to 4. If I'm being truly honest right here in this very moment, this was my least favorite part of the day. I usually found it a little boring and tedious, but I guess that's what I was there to do. Here you get comfortable with some of the technology we had access to, mostly Adobe products, and learn new techniques and stuff. Sometimes you'd have an opportunity to work on projects and assignments, but usually that had to be done during open lab. After that, you typically get 2 hours to chill out for a sec and eat dinner, and if you're me, probably go back to the dorms and take a nap. At this point, there was a bit more variation day to day, but often there would be a visiting artist who would hang out and talk to us from 6 to 8. This was another super fun and enlightening aspect of CISA, and was perhaps the most eye-opening in terms of what the animation industry is like. Thinking back, some of my favorite guests were Brooke Kiesling, Ari Castleton, who storyboards for The Loud House, and Bobby Podesta and Adrian Molina, who are two big, important Disney Pixar guys. I'm probably forgetting some other super cool guests, but yeah, being able to talk to real successful folks in the industry was incredible. After that, you're basically done. It's up to you to spend time in the open lab if you want, and that lasts until 10 o'clock. And it's a great opportunity to like work with all the resources that you have in the animation classroom and get like projects and assignments done. You should absolutely utilize this time as much as you possibly can. It's really helpful, and a lot of like the best memories are made in the open lab, I think, because people are kind of losing it after a while. So that's fun. There's a lot of, yeah, open lab time was really good. As far as specific projects and assignments go, part of me doesn't want to like ruin the surprise, but also I have no idea if they'll keep doing these exact things, so who cares? We did a flip book, a paper cutout animation, walk cycle, an exquisite corpse collaboration, which I suggest you Google the meaning of, exquisite corpse, and the final film. Although this sounds like a lot for 4 weeks, I can't stress this enough. If you use your time wisely and don't get in over your head with super ambitious ideas, you will have no problem. I I mean, I guess I could kind of like regret that I kind of took the easy way out on most of the assignments, but also I got a lot of time to just sort of chill. I didn't do anything with it. I never went to like the marketplace in Valencia, and I never like hung out with people that much. I kind of stayed in the dorms all the time. But also, I should have mentioned this up front. I did not have the most amazing time at CISA, especially for the first 2 weeks. I was really homesick and pretty sad, and I wanted to leave. Um, that probably won't be your experience, but it was mine, so like be prepared for it, because going in I was like, this is going to be the best experience of my life ever, like I'm going to have so much fun, I'm not going to miss my parents at all. But I was like FaceTiming my mom and crying like every day, so it sounds sad. But yeah, I didn't hang out with people that much because I kind of felt out of place, not in like a skill level like type way. I was like, I shouldn't be here. So that's sad. I'll move on. Um, I got a question about what it's like to be surrounded by artists, and it is buck wild, unlike anything I've ever experienced. Being able to have people around you constantly that you can relate to in terms of like, like just artist things is super duper cool. I adore and miss dearly all of the friends I made at CISA. I love you guys if you're watching. Hello. You can also expect to form close bonds with a few of the instructors too. Most of them really care about the students and want to see them succeed, as any teacher should, and it's super motivating. And after a while, they start to feel like your parents, and then you're afraid to disappoint them, which is also a good source of motivation. Generally, I don't think CISA made me a better artist technique-wise. On a surface level, I don't know if my skills really got any better, but I know that my work ethic changed. Having to complete almost 100 pages of a sketchbook in 4 weeks was very hard, but it helped me to develop better sketching habits in general. I'd say the biggest takeaway from CISA for me was the insight into what the animation industry is like and how to navigate that for the future. I don't want to say it was discouraging, because it absolutely was not. That was not the intention of the instructors. They very much want to see you succeed, but they just want you to be very aware of what the animation industry is like and how difficult it is to kind of navigate. Um, so it wasn't discouraging. It was just really eye-opening and helped me to kind of reevaluate my career goals and become a little more like realistic for what I want. Because before I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go into the animation industry, live in LA, do all that. But now I've kind of sat on the information I got at CISA for a few months, and I've like come to the conclusion that working in the animation industry isn't for me, and I've kind of like readjusted my career path accordingly, which is cool. And I think I owe that to CISA, because I wouldn't have had that insight otherwise, and I would have probably gotten into a career that was really unstable and not something I was prepared for, like mentally. Um, so yeah. Oh, here's a tip. I so don't be like me. I didn't take advantage of a lot of the like resources available at CISA in terms of like exposure to the other departments, because there's so many departments. There's like dance and music and theater and all these things, and they put on like shows where you can go see what they're working on, or watch their like visiting artists. I didn't do any of that. I spent so much time just sitting in the dorms like eating Cheez-Its, which I don't regret. I had some good times eating Cheez-Its in the dorms, usually with Zoe, one of my roommates, whom I love and adore very deeply, and also Eden, my other roommate, who I also love and adore. But like, be a little like, go out of your comfort zone a little bit, because I feel like I did miss out on a few things because I never like went into the film library. I never went and like got food with people. Um, I don't know. It's not that I felt like a loner. I could have put myself out there more. So I would suggest you do that because you don't want to be like me and regret it down the line. um, but yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. So if you have any more questions, please feel free to ask me in the comments or like on Instagram or anything. You guys know my links, right? I don't know. Whatever. All right. I hope you enjoyed. Bye.